Hello everyone. I just wanted to follow up on a few things from Sunday for this Wednesday morning's reflection. I hope that you have had a Jesus encounter like those on the Emmaus Road had. On Tuesday, I had another one. Yes, unexpectedly. Why is it always unexpected? I was out walking the dog, listening to a podcast. I listened to a few kind of geeky theological podcasts. This one is called Forward, as in the front of a book that allows authors to introduce themselves. It's run by 4 young scholars at Trinity Evangelical Divinity School in Chicago. Madison Pierce, Michelle Knight, Joshua Jipp, and James Arcadi. James did a wonderful short episode about us being stuck in Easter Sunday afternoon at the moment. Well worth listening to. And it was the others who were involved in this one, talking about Madison's new book on the letter to the Hebrews, a letter that is little studied in the church these days. They were talking about how in Hebrews there is dialogue, quotations from the Old Testament that are used to speak in the first person, first by the Father to the Son, then by the Son to the Father, and then by the Spirit to the congregation. Only once, the very last spoken words in the book are the words that the congregation speak. We speak. Let me share with you my screen in relation to the PowerPoint and the reading. And here it is, Hebrews chapter 13, verses 1 to 6. Keep on loving one another as brothers and sisters. Do not forget to show hospitality to strangers, for by doing so, some have shown hospitality to angels without knowing it. Continue to remember those in prison as if you were together with them in prison, and those who are mistreated as if you yourselves were suffering. Marriage should be honoured by all, and the marriage bed kept pure, for God will judge the adulterer and all the sexually immoral. Keep your lives free from the love of money, and be content with what you have, because God has said, "Never will I leave you, never will I forsake you." So we say with confidence, "The Lord is my helper. I will not be afraid. What can mere mortals do to me?" Let's hear these words again. So we say with confidence, "The Lord is my helper. I will not be afraid. What can mere mortals do to me?" And this is said in response to what God says to us. God says, "Never will I leave you, never will I forsake you." God will always be with us, regardless of good times or bad. And in these days, for a lot of people, it's really bad times. But in the light of what we know about God, saying, "Never will I leave you, never will I forsake you," and experiencing God's presence, we are then able to confess to others, "God is my helper. I will not be afraid." In these difficult days, we can be sure of 2 things. One is that God will never leave us or forsake us. And the second thing is that it is our privilege to confess that the Lord is indeed our helper. And that assurance that God is our helper means that we do not need to be afraid. Let us now say together the words of the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. May God go with you through the rest of this week.